And just like that, we're live. People, how are we? Do you know what? It has been, I want to say it's been roughly, actually, how long has it been? It's probably been roughly a month since my last live, which was a watch along. And I actually think it might have been even longer. I don't remember the last time I did just a proper, weekday, how are you doing kind of live. Let's see how this sounds. Yep, sounds absolutely a-okay on my end. Let's get a few people in the building. God, it's been a while, people. It's been a while since we've done a little live. That's on me, of course. I've been mega busy. And to be honest with you, I've been doing like a lot more videos, as you know, lately. I've been doing a lot more work, some of it with the Ring magazine, some of it with Ade. Stay tuned. All I'll say is on that one, Ade and G-Man, we are doing that on Thursday. But, right, I don't want to jump the gun, right? I don't want to jump the gun on something. But we did do something yesterday evening. We're just waiting on the okay on this because it's a little bit more. I don't want to give much away, but it's something that I think has a lot of miles in it. And boy, was it fun to do. I'll leave it there. It was really good. And the funny thing is, after we finished, we watched it back. And we were actually compelled, even though we just recorded, to watch the whole thing back. Is how good it was. And I hope we get the green light on it. And if we do, I think you're going to enjoy it. But for this, we are going to talk about Oleksandr Usyk and potentially Joseph Parker facing Anthony Joshua for a vacant strap. Now, that's the thing I've heard. I've heard people say, well, if Oleksandr Usyk does get stripped or he does decide to vacate, which he did do with the IBF title last year, why Ainsley Harriott? I've always used him. I've mainly always used him. And I think all the other avatars are a little bit. There's one of Eddie Hearn, which I probably can't use because of the gesture he's making. I think because of the gesture he's making, I can't use it. You could try that one. If it goes on, has it changed? No, it didn't change. Maybe I didn't hit done. There you go. You could try that one. What do you think of that one? Huh? What do you think of that one? David Price. We have that one. We have. Oh man, we could use that one. That would be wrong, but we could use that one. Good. It would be wrong, but we could use that one. What else do I have? This one right here, I like it, but it's a bit. Whatever way it downloaded, it didn't take the full thing. And yeah, that is definitely Kellis. Look at that. I might keep that one on for a little while. Kellis Sauerland. There we go. We keep him on for a little while. But yeah, there is talk that it could be Parker for the vacant title. But that to me, if I was in, because I think I'm going to go on the Ring magazine website on their X account, because I think Andy Lee said something, words to the effect of it. And I'll just get it for you here. Yeah, Andy Lee said, our first preference is to fight Usyk, definitely. If not, we'll fight for the vacant title, but we want to fight Usyk. That's our aim. Why would they fight for a vacant title if they're interim champion? I don't get that. Why would you? So basically, the whole purpose of you being interim champion is it's essentially a glorified mandatory. So you don't have to. So if you're mandatory and the champion, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right? We know Parker's mandatory, but let's say he was mandatory without being interim. In that scenario, he'd have to fight the next available contender in the rankings for the vacant title. But if you're interim, you should get elevated. Daniel Dubois was interim IBF champion, and then he was elevated to full. So I'm a little bit confused as to why they're saying they'll fight for the vacant title. And Joshua's name does get batted around. I think it would be a travesty if Anthony Joshua got an immediate crack at a vacant title or immediate crack at Joseph Parker for a world title coming out the back of a devastating loss, I think it would be absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful. I really do. Big up to JD, evening G-Man. I think waffles are great. Big up G-Man, long time without a live. I know, man. I know it's been, do you know what it is? It's just, you get home, you do your vids, you do what you need to do, and then before you know it, the evening has just kind of passed you by. And yeah, you're kind of like, all right, well, the vids are done, everything else is done, the evening's kind of passed you by. And then there's other evenings where I plan on doing a live, and maybe I have to record with Ade or something comes up, and time is precious these days, man. It really is. Well done on the show, Ade. Thank you, mate. Luke Partridge, evening. Are you missing me? Nah, man. I'd be lying if I said I was. I'd be lying if I said I was. And I'm just, before I carry on reading, I just scroll down. Mr. Luca, yes, that was him doing punditry for Sky many, many years ago. Many years ago. And that's a real picture, by the way. Looking forward to this. Big up to the 286 project. How are you, my friend? What did I think of McGregor in the White House? That's what I thought of Conor McGregor in the White House. I mean, oh, man. Conor McGregor. And you know what it is, right? It really... Listen, McGregor right now is speaking out on a very touchy subject, and the issue is, there's a lot of issues that go along with it. I'm not going to get into it and all that, but one of the things that I find so crazy about Conor McGregor is he's always been a scummy character, all right? And what's crazy is that a lot of these, especially more the alt-right scene, they are acting like McGregor is as white as the driven snow. And a lot of the things that McGregor says they represent, but in the past, he's endorsed things that they've been absolutely dead set against. And ain't they quick to forget that? I've never liked McGregor since I first met him. He's a typical Crumlin scumbag. That's what he is. Not to say everyone from Crumlin is scum. They're not, but it's a rough part of Dublin. And McGregor is a stereotypical inner city dub. That's what he is. He's a stereotypical inner city dub with not even two brain cells to rub together. And once he got some money, he just went ham on all kinds of what. And that's what McGregor is. So, yeah, look, I really don't want to talk about that guy at all, really, because I never liked the guy. And yeah, that's really what I think. I mean, I thought in terms of how he looked physically, I thought he looked awful. I mean, he really has aged badly over the last couple of years. I mean, physically, God knows what he must be on these days. Yoji, man, good to see you flying now. Aren't you, mate? Good for you. Yeah, man, it's been really good. It's been mega lately. 80 in the building. If you could smash the like button, and we'll hopefully, I'd like to get into the mid hundreds in this live. Mid hundreds, maybe 200 if we could. But if you haven't already, hit the like button. Hitting the like button will help out big time. I've only got 17 likes. 17 likes with 80 people. Can't be. Why Ainsley? I used him as an avatar years ago. And I just always, you see, the camera on this is not the greatest. And the Wi-Fi in here is actually, they improved it, to be fair. But it is still a little bit, when you're doing it live with a camera, it can be a bit glitchy. That's why I don't do watch-alongs here, because it can get a bit glitchy. So I just use the avatars, and I don't really mind StreamYard. I use the free version of StreamYard. So for me, it's just like, you can get a couple of avatars on. It's good to go. Mr. Luca, Joshua Robin Belts again. Did you hear Spence and Smith on TalkSport about AJ was embarrassing to listen to? No, but if you're talking about Spencer Oliver, yeah, talk about him, man. He is just. Do you know what I'll do? I will have a listen to it. Because, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, Spencer Oliver, God bless him. I know he went through surgery, but like, honestly, I've never, like, honestly, it's just, I don't know how he gets these gigs. He had nothing. Big up the Fight Sport Talk. How are you? Prices looks it's a bad one, isn't it? This is speaking as someone who actually likes David Price as a person, Kellis Sauerland. Yo, G man, how's the day gone? Been busy, man. It's been busy. Like I said, I recorded late last night. I got in about 11 o'clock last night. Got in about 11 o'clock. I had to go into the office today, so I was up at about 7ish and got home at 5:30, went to the gym, had some dinner, and now here we are. So it's been a tiring day today now, I'm not gonna lie. But man, you know what I wanted. This is what I wanted. You know, this is what I wanted to be over here. I want to be doing this, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every minute of it, man. It's been fun. Imagine a fight between Dubois and Kabayel. Be very interesting. Ajit Kabayel surprised me. You know, we only really seen Ajit Kabayel against Eric Chisora, and that was the only kind of taste we got of him. And he fought that way very negative. And it didn't really. We kind of assumed that was his generic style, that he was kind of a bit of a negative Nelly. He'll outbox you and try and do stuff. But he's been sticking it on these guys, arguably the best body puncher in the division. So he's been an interesting watch. He really, truly has. I would probably still favor Dubois, but man, that's a tough fight. And how are you, Ben? I hope you're keeping well, my friend. What's your gut feeling? Will Usyk fight Parker or Dubois? My gut feeling, it's going to be Dubois. Whether that's for Undisputed or not, my gut feeling is that it's going to be Dubois. How dare they strip Usyk, our king? He can fight whoever the hell he wants. We want to see him knock out Deep Random Tinker, that is a quadruple knee at Wembley Stadium. If I could start that one, I would. That's a good one. Dubois desperately seeking the rematch / beating all of the confidence taken away from the low blow will ever weigh once he eats a few jabs. Yeah, I think with Dubois, I see with most fighters I'd say yeah, but with someone like Dubois, he's so I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but he's just so vacant, for want of a better word, in the head. It probably wouldn't register with him, to be honest with you. It really wouldn't. Big up to Oliver, big up G man. I hope you're keeping well, my friend. I hope you're all good. And yes, that is really David Price. Is Usyk really considering not fighting Joseph Parker? I don't even think it's the fact that he's considering not fighting. I think he wants that Dubois fight. I think Dubois really upset him at that, in the ring after the fight. And I think that's what he wants to do. I think he just wants to fight him. You should do a show with Blue Collar Sports TV. Yeah, big up to Dell. I haven't done a show with Dell since I think, when's the last time I did a show? It's about November time. We could be long overdue one, man. We could be long overdue one. I have done them with Dell in the past. But yeah, we could be long overdue another show. We certainly could be. And big up to Lee inside the distance. I hope you're keeping well, my friend. I hope you're keeping very, very well. Getting the videos back out, I see. AJ, can I just call you Isaac, mate? Apologies, because I really will butcher the first name. I'm sorry. AJ's a big name, unfortunately, he will always get preferential treatment. It's the way it is, man. And, you know, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is the way. It is the way it is. You know, as far as I'm concerned, AJ really in the last 2 years, has he warranted a world title shot? Really? You know, he's beaten Oliver Leon. That win is aged a bit like milk. He's beaten Jermaine Franklin. He's beaten Robert Helenius, and he's also beaten Francis Ngannou. You know, that to me is not, you know, what a world champion should be doing, or someone who's getting ready to fight for a world title. And then coming in off the back of a loss, a devastating loss at that, I for one don't like it. I don't think he should be fighting for a world title, quite frankly. I think that he should be, well, for me, I think AJ should just call it a day, because I recently went back and watched the fight that he had with Dubois, and I think it's fair to say AJ probably won 1 full minute of that fight. There was probably about a minute. If you take the whole 5 rounds, AJ probably won about a minute in that fight, in that respective fight. That's it. That's it. As an MMA guy, I always had a strong dislike towards McGregor, the biggest narcissist and piece of work in the sport. Yeah, exactly. You know, Conor McGregor, I remember in 2013, before he really started to come onto the scene, he was on the scene a bit in Ireland. and he was probably about 24, 25 at the time. And immediately I was kind of like, there's something off about this guy, like really off about him. Like he just had that vibe even then. And as he carried on, and you could tell he was a tug, you know. And the funniest thing was, like, in Ireland, they have a tendency in Ireland, because we don't produce many big name stars, where people could behave like McGregor in everyday life and they look at them as a tug. But because McGregor was doing well, there were so many people I knew who you could tell they were saying, "Oh, we do like him," but you could tell they were just kind of biting their tongue because he was successful. And now he's on the decline, and he's all over the place now. And people are like, "Yeah, I never really liked him." Well, listen, I didn't. As you know, I'm not one who cares whether I'm liked or not. If I think I'm in the minority, so be it. I was saying it from day one. I was like, I never liked this guy. There's something seriously off about him, and I've been proven right. Conor McGregor, as you say, he looks in his 50s. I mean, he is probably on some sort of performance enhancer, probably stronger, and he's probably on the old "how you doing." That's a recipe for disaster right there. Anyone seen Daniel? Not actually. Maybe he's in Brazil, enjoying himself, far away from any testing agencies. I'm not making any accent. I'm just saying. Hi, I'm Triple Knee. Hi, I'm Triple Knee. I was going to say, I was like, what? I was like, I used PEDs to be Joshua and increase my punch resistance, and I even rubbed my head in order to cut him. I might have thrown a low blow. I won't be going that far, Stats Killer. I won't be going that far. How many subs are you hoping for by the end of 25? It's in the name. At the very least, 25 is kind of like the minimum goal. I would love to hit 30. As it stands now, mate, my sub count is, because I have my studio tab opened on the other page. Sub count is, and I've gained 2 subs since I started this live. Big up. 22,786. So if you haven't already, there's 93 in the building. Hit the like button and hit subscribe if you're new. But I'd love to hit 30. I would. I know the show I do at Ade has helped me. It is. There's no ifs or buts. I'm not gonna lie, that is helping. What's your view on Nordic warrior boxing or based boxing basement? Well, I can honestly, I've never really seen much of based boxing basement, but I've actually seen Nordic a few times. I've listened to a couple of his videos. He definitely has strong opinions on certain fighters, mainly Jack Catterall, which I don't necessarily agree with him saying he felt that Josh Taylor legit won the fight. But I can kind of see where he's coming from with regards to some of the things he says about Jack Catterall. But Nordic's always been cool to me, and I've always been cool to him. I don't have a bad word to say about him. Honestly, he's a good guy up there in Scotland. Joshua does not deserve a title shot. This is nuts. He could maybe fight Joyce Hrgovic winner. Well, for me, I think that actually would make a lot of sense. It would put him in contention. And look, Hrgovic, we don't really know where he's at. I probably would pick Hrgovic over him now. But Joyce, I'd pick Joshua. I probably would pick Joshua over Joyce. My view on Ball Inoue is Inoue wins. It's as simple as that, man. I just don't see what Nick Ball has to really trouble Inoue, to be honest with you. I really don't. Joshua getting the title shot would be sadly not be a surprise. Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't, and for me, it wouldn't be the right thing. It would be completely wrong. I don't think Joshua deserves one. I didn't think he deserved the rematch clause, quite frankly, in the contract for the Dubois fight, considering he was coming as the challenger, but he was treated like the champion. Dubois was introduced first. He went to the ring first. His name, I think, was second on the title. And that, to me, I know AJ is officially the A side. He's the big money name, but that's wrong as far as I'm concerned, Simon should have chinned Oliver. Simon should have chinned Oliver and Smith was brutal. I'm going to go and watch that. I'm going to go and give it a watch. When I listen to Conor Benn, I actually get Spencer Oliver vibes from some reason. Well, Conor Benn, again, he's not the brightest. If you ever listen to Conor Benn speak about certain things, and, Conor Benn is just that. He's just not the brightest. I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but you can tell, like, look, there are people out there like that. Conor Ben, I think sometimes as well, I'll give you an example, right? He says things to people and you're like, that doesn't even make sense. Like when Josh Taylor was having to go with Conor Ben about failing the PED test, the first thing he said to him was, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. It's like, mate, you do realize that that's implying Josh Taylor has had trouble with PEDs and stuff, which he hasn't. So you've completely misconstrued the whole saying. So for me, I'm like, yeah, look, not the brightest, neither in Mar. Some people in boxing are very bright. He's unfunny and disrespectful. Yeah, he's not the funniest. I can't imagine he is the life and soul of any party. No, he won't. He definitely won't do that. BS UK don't own boxing. It's global. We don't want to see AJ versus Parker. AJ, go work your way back up the ladder for F's sake. And I don't want to see two ducking fights or two ducks fighting. Two ducks. I mean, well, Parker, it wouldn't be a duck with Oleksandr Usyk. I wouldn't consider it that. AJ, well, he has ducked Dubois. He's ducked the rematch, which shouldn't have been in place in the first place. Your show at Ades are great. Yeah, this week could be a little bit tricky. We're still doing it, but there's not really been much news this week. I mean, this is something, but yeah, there's not a crazy amount. So Thursday's show might be a shorter one. Well, we'll film it on a Thursday, but it might be a shorter one. Mate, I will. I promise I will get you on one of these lives some days. If I get people on lives, I'm always going to let them know ahead of schedule. I'll never just leave a link and open it up to the floor because God only knows. I'm not saying that you guys will do that, but you just don't know. You just don't know. Big up to Ian. How are you, my friend? I hope you're keeping well. Well done. Newcastle on the weekend, man. Newcastle won the weekend. First trophy in 70 years, major trophies. Crazy. Being serious, Usyk absolutely beat Dubois up, and the only controversy is what gives Dubois anything to argue about. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you simply said it there. The fact of the matter is, and again, what you need to factor in, right? The people who believe that shot was low, Frank Warren is going to say that because it's his charge. So if it was Eddie Hearn in the same situation with Anthony Joshua, he'd be doing the same. So fair enough. But the only people who really believe it was low, who believe it was legit, were Fury fanboys. Like, that's genuinely all who it was. It's just people who just wanted to have a go at Oleksandr. Oh, you're saying, look what Tyson Fury would have done. He fought Usyk twice. What did he do? Not much. The AJ Simpson is no, Jesus, no. The Fury is the worst. That in my experience, right? And listen, I've had AJ fanboys come at me before. It's happened. None have been as bad as the Fury fanboys. Like, I've never seen anything as bad as those Fury fanboys. They were absolute wow. And some of the things they used to Fury, you take things and they say, oh, you're this, you're that, and the other. Some used to there's one thing I hate. It's when people downright lie. And you see some of the Fury fans being like, oh yeah, there was one Fury fan, I'll never forget it. He rocked up before actually it was Fury versus Usyk 2. And of course, they've all gone quiet since then. I was saying that me and Ade had beef and stuff like that. And that, Ade's seen, yeah, me and Ade have our own show now. So yeah, good luck with that, man. No, I think Chisora, probably not. That's why we need one belt. Disgraceful for the IBF and WBO to strip the Undisputed King. Didn't even get a chance to defend the Undisputed title. Well, if you think about it like this, you have a very good point there, because Oleksandr Usyk doesn't really get a chance. He's gone straight into a rematch with Tyson Fury, so he doesn't get a chance to defend it. Whereas Canelo held on to those titles for God knows how long, and now he's going to fight for Undisputed again. And then he's going to probably beat William Skull and then defend it against Terence Crawford, a guy at 154. Dana White is just as bad. Another woman. I never heard that about Dana White. I'm not familiar with that. So I don't know Dana White as a character that well, to be honest with you. I've not really paid much attention to him. I do know a bit about him, of course, but that I've never heard. And by the way, I've got over 100 in the building. So if you could, and I'll say it on camera, if you could, please, Jab, hit that like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. And big up to Spicy Curry today. Great name. I can't see it happening. Not only does he not deserve, but it would be massively disappointing if Usyk fought Joshua for a third time. I mean, on par with Fury fighting Chisora 3 times. I agree because, well, Joshua wouldn't fight Usyk again, or certainly they wouldn't mandate it. And I don't think Joshua will be looking to fight Usyk. To be honest with you, if he fought him a third time, mate, Usyk stops him this time because you could say Usyk is on the decline. Yeah, man, Joshua got ironed out. You're right, though, in one sense. It's disappointing because Usyk is not a Canelo in terms of that drawn power that he can just, I'm undisputed. I'll rematch Fury and I'll do whatever I want. As soon as he was kind of cleared, the mandatories kept coming, and here we are. I'll never understand all the Dubois hate. He's one of 2 champions we have male. He's champions London and English boxing. I don't necessarily think it's necessarily hate on him, to be honest with you. I don't think he did himself any favors, again, charging into the ring after Usyk, and the fact he was talking about his family. I've never seen anybody be like hateful towards Dubois. I've seen them just be real. Like, they're just okay, like, he's a little bit slow, and which he is. I mean, everyone can see that. I wouldn't necessarily say it's anything hateful, about him or anything like that. Certainly not. Love the RA and G-Man episodes. Man, we love making them. They're good fun. They're really, really, really good fun. I think they're absolutely, man, I think they're brilliant to make. I'm biased, of course, obviously. We don't need only one belt and only one champion. We need champions that have more than one fight a year. Well, yeah, you say it there. If they fought twice a year, one of them could be a unification, it can be a big fight, the other can be a mandatory, and that would eliminate the problem, Hey, G man, you watching the UFC this weekend? Probably not. I'm not really a big. I'm more of a casual UFC fan. I would watch some fights. Maybe I would tune in and give it a watch, but I don't watch it enough because people have asked me to do, videos on UFC and stuff like that. And I did consider it at one point, whereas now I'm kind of just very happy to just kind of stick to boxing. And if you think about it like this, again, I've said this before, you've got a lot of the UFC commentators now coming into boxing because boxing is doing so well at this minute in time. But in my opinion, it's doing probably better than UFC. So you've got a lot of boxing, not UFC, MMA kind of guys coming in and doing boxing now. And I'm cringing when I listen to some, but I know listen to some, and some of it is just like, oh my God. Some of it, you're just like, oh, really? Really? I don't think Del Boy could beat Joshua prime for prime. Oh, no. Jesus, no. No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be picking Chisora prime to beat Anthony Joshua. Certainly not. Being honest as a Dubliner, does McGregor just embarrass you being he's from your city? When I look at Frampton or Katie Taylor, they are 10 times the person McGregor is. I don't want to say he embarrasses me necessarily. I look at Dublin the way I look at London, in a sense of there are different parts of it. So for me, I kind of like, well, he's from the inner city. I'm not. I'm from very much North Dublin in a more kind of nicer area. So I look at us as being from 2 different parts, almost essentially 2 different countries, almost in terms of where we are in Dublin. It'd be like someone from London. I live in East London, and I would, if someone was, obviously I'm not from London originally, obviously, but like if someone from South London was as big a scumbag as McGregor, and they'd be like, oh, you're from, you're like, I'm from a complete different part from East London. It's different, everything. So that's how I see it. The one thing I will say that I don't like about McGregor is that, well, a lot of things, but one thing that kind of is a stigma that's kind of come now is the way McGregor speaks. It's a very, so Dublin has different parts of Dublin. It's a bit like London in that sense. You've north and you've south and you've kind of inner city, right? And McGregor is very much, his accent is very much an inner city Dublin accent, Yeah, buddy, because they talk like that, they tend to talk a bit like that, and they look to say it like that, buddy, right? It's a horrible accent. It really is, right? Most people now, when people find out I'm from Dublin, they're like, oh, but one of the things actually they say is, but you don't sound like you're from Dublin. It's like, well, I am, but I'm from a different part, and our accent isn't as bad. It's not as It's not as in your face, you know. It's not a Skanger accent like that, you know, and the way McGregor talks. So a lot of people just associate that accent with, oh, you're from Dublin. It's like, no, I'm not. Oh, well, I am from Dublin, but that's not a ubiquitous accent for Dublin, you know. I'm from, so in London they have boroughs. In Ireland they don't, but we do have different county councils for different parts of Dublin. And so I'd be from Fingal, and Fingal has their own distinct accent. Swords is a part of Fingal, and we have our own accent. So like a bit of a convoluted one, but that's essentially what it is. And big up to Mark every single time. I hope you're keeping well, mate. Are you enjoying life in London? Which parts do you go out in? I am enjoying life in London. I really am. Where do I like to go? London Bridge. I've gone to a few places in London Bridge. My main kind of go-to spot is the pub I go to near Old Street Station in central London, near Liverpool Street. I also go to the Devonshire and Soho the odd time. I like that there. That's actually a nice place. There's a good few places in Soho I like, and near Fleet Street. So I tend to stick to central. Like I like central, and it's not too far from Stratford as well. Like you can get the Elizabeth line and the places like that. So I like it along kind of central. So that's where I've mainly kind of gone now. And yeah, I like it. I'm having good fun here, man. I'm having real good fun here. No one wants the Parker smoke. I don't see you collab with Joe Stunner again. He's great. My dream is to see you, Joe Stunner, and Ade in a video. Yeah, man, maybe someday. In terms of doing a collab with Joe, we need to get that done. We absolutely do. It's always good fun. Nordic Water knows boxing, but he's very biased towards certain fighters. He does know boxing, very much so. Box based for everyone, very strong views and opinions, but entertaining. Nordic has strong opinions, but seems like a good Christian guy. He certainly is. They certainly are. Now, again, I haven't really seen much of boxing basement, to be honest with you. If any, it doesn't ring a bell, to be honest with you, really. He's just truthful. Yeah, pretty much. He'll just roast you to death. He'll definitely do that. Would I like to see a Telma versus Jermaine Franklin? I wouldn't, to be honest with you. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. By the way, just if I can get your attention, 106 concurrent viewers. Whilst I'm delighted with that, I'd also like to see a few more likes. You know, I mean, we could get the likes up to, you know, over 50. If you could, it takes literally 2 seconds. If you could, I'd appreciate that. What could have been? I don't think David Price ever, like, right. Pricey just didn't have it mentally as much as he didn't have it physically. And I think Pricey's problem was always mental, more so than physical. Physically, yeah, there was things there that you could improve on, but it was always physical or always mental with David Price. And there's just no real way to fix that. Parker doesn't want to be handed a title. He wants to fight for it against Dubois or Usyk. He would fight AJ for the vacant belt, but this is the less preferable option. Well, I'd make Parker firm favorite to be AJ, to be honest with you. I really would. I'd make him a red hot favorite to be AJ, to be honest with you. Atelma is still a good prospect, but what about his chin? I think Atelma is way more talented than Pricey ever was. But yeah, we need to see how he takes a shot. The fact that he's been in there with the likes of Dubois, Okoli, and they've sang his praises, that says to me that either his defense is very good, and he was 15 at that point. Either his defense is very good, or he can take a decent shot as well. Where are we at? What do you think? Why do you think Morgan was biased in favor of Conor Benn? Well, it was there for all to see. I suspect, given the fact that maybe Chris Eubank Jr. straight off the bat was being defensive, and with Morgan, he loves to give you a rope to hang yourself with. He loves to appear as the in control guy and stuff like that. And if you give him nothing, I think that really starts to aggravate him. And given the fact that Conor Benn has already been on his show before, and, you know, Morgan never really put it on Conor Benn even then. There's some parts he did, but he kind of let him away pretty much with it. And, you know, I think maybe that's why, you know. So I watched it. Thank God I didn't watch it on his Morgan's channel, but it was just meh. Usyk duck Dubois or duck Parker? No, he didn't. Do you think Fury will come back? And if he doesn't, will AJ retire as well? I think if he doesn't, AJ, the answer I would say is no. I don't think he will retire. I suspect he probably will. I suspect he probably will. Glad United won, but football is so toxic. I'm a supporter because of my father. I'm a United supporter my whole life. It's tough times all around, but we got a win on Sunday, so we can't complain. He wants fight Triple D because he knows he beat him. He doesn't want to fight Parker because Parker got all sinks, gets him first loss. I wouldn't be picking Joseph Parker to be Usyk even now, but it'd be interesting. Why wouldn't Usyk choose Dubois over Parker? Familiar style. And I think he really doesn't like Daniel Dubois as well. And I think that does play a factor in it. Fury exposed himself as a bully, banding the cross from the corner is hideous, but he didn't have the guts to shave the beard. Had his shorts too high as well. Hypocrite. Well, listen, Tyson Fury, the guy who talks about he loves Jesus and this, that, and the other. And as you say, the shorts, he mocks Usyk for having shorts up too high when he doesn't. And Fury comes in with his shorts nearly up to his chest. He refused to shave the beard, and he won't let Usyk bring a cross with him to the ring. The good Christian. Honestly, Tyson Fury is... And that's why I can't... I've always been like that. I've never been a fanboy, certainly when it came to boxing and things like that. And even like other sports where I do like certain fighters or certain drivers in F1 or something like that, I can still separate the biasness for the most part. With Fury, his fanboys can't obviously, but when you see this bully who doesn't practice anything of what he preaches, it's just, I can't fathom how anyone, look, he's a great fighter, but how these people look at him as though he's some, bastion of virtue and stuff like that. He's absolutely none of those things. He really isn't. He's none of them. It's crazy. Wilder and Fury, when losing, are one and the same. Yeah, Wilder is worse when it comes to making it because they were just insane. Yeah, well, I got them after the second fight, but never as bad as the Fury fans because my channel was still quite small at the time. It only had about 2,000 subs. But yeah, Wilder when he lost the Fury second, Fury was bad at taking a loss. But Wilder was next level. I mean, that was something out of this world. Not surprised that Fury fans lie about UNLA. Fury lies more than any other boxer. Yeah, and as the saying goes, birds of a feather, what do? They flock together. So, Fury will lie about this, he'll lie about that. And listen, without going into too much detail, in my own personal life, I've known people who are in relationship with Fury fans. And, well, I've known them long before, they were even Fury fans. And they're some of the most horrendous people you'd ever want to meet. And I'm not trying to stigmatize all Fury because there could be a lot of people who just genuinely like him for whatever reason and they're good people. But for the most part, I've met Fury fans in real life who don't watch my videos, but they'd follow him religiously. And it's like, I'm not surprised you would like him because you are just literally everything he pretty much represents. Dana White did that in retaliation. Well, if he did it in retaliation, I don't want to go into too much detail, but listen, if anyone hits you unprovoked, I'll give you an example. If a little 5'1" guy hit you a slap for no reason and you retaliated, most people wouldn't have a problem with that if it was unprovoked. If you provoked it, different story, right? But if it's unprovoked, well, I ain't gonna act like that is. I'll go there. Of course, Usyk is ducking Parker. Parker was mandatory and he won't fight him. Right, but you're not getting the point, right? So if he wants to go for Undisputed, right, to say he can keep the belt and they go for Undisputed, as far as I'm concerned, if you're looking to unify, that's not necessarily a duck. I know he's already been unified, he's already been Undisputed, but that to me isn't a duck. That to me isn't a duck. Is not going to take over boxing. No, he's not going to take over boxing. The more I think about it now, the more I'm like, he'll do well, but he's not going to. I can't see him taking over it. I can't. If Usyk don't want to fight Parker, then release the WBO belt. But if the WBO will give him an exemption to become undisputed, this is why rematches need to go. I hate them. I hate them at times. I really do. If Joyce somehow beats Hergovic, yeah, why not? I would. I'd watch it. It needs to be spread out. Yeah, it's the truest sense, though. It is, though. Jab the like button like Larry Holmes. Like Larry Holmes. Yeah, you jab that like button if you could, please. I'm telling you, jab that like button. What are your thoughts on F1 this season? I think McLaren look like the favourites. I hope Ferrari catch on. Red Bull will slip back. Don't know what you make of Mercedes. Any surprise packages? Not really, to be honest with you. I think probably Piastri would be my pick for world champion this year. And I might go, ooh, not Norris. No, I've always rated Piastri more. Please replace Adam Cattrall. He's one of the few on TalkSport I actually quite like. Usyk, no, Parker got the skills to counter punch him, make him look scared. That's Samoan power. Yeah, Adam is decent. Yeah, no problem with Adam Cattrall. I really have no problem with Adam Cattrall. We stick to boxing, not MMA. Usyk would be Parker. Why ball? People say he gets disqualified. He only retaliated. Yeah, you could say that at the same time. When I was looking at it, I was like, Dehaney did hold him a long time. Freedom Fighter, big up, man. Great channel, thank you. My thoughts on Celtic are very simple. They're a Scottish team. They're Scottish. Like, they're very much a Scottish team as well. That's my thoughts on them. Simple as they're very much a Scottish team as well. So when people say that, they're not Irish. They're very much a Scottish team. For SA, please don't give Joshua belt for life and let the rest of the boxing carry on. AJ didn't deserve his last title shot, his last fight, and he lost and now will get another title shot straight away. I hope it isn't the case, my friend. I hope it's not the case. Who's Ireland's next headliner outside fighters outside Donovan and Crooker? Maybe Jude Gallagher or Dylan Edson from the amateurs. No, Callum Walsh. Callum Walsh, he'll do something. Yeah, it's a tragic picture. Same problem. Yeah, I agree. Too bad, AJ. I'm sorry, I can't even make that one out. Media getting carried away with Parker. He beat a shot Wilder, a fat slow Zhang, and an untrained Bacoli. Well, shot Wilder, like, I wouldn't necessarily consider Wilder that shot, to be honest with you. He just has no killer instinct. He doesn't look that bad. He doesn't look shot to bits. He just looks like he's just got no fire in him. Pierce hired Kyle with the other show. The sadistic bully himself, how much respect Pierce has for his views. He hired Kyle with the other show. Well, what's the other show? Tell me you're not referring to the man who I think you're referring to, and that's Jeremy Kyle, because, oh man, that is literally the worst combination known to man. Pierce Morgan and Jeremy Kyle. Jeremy Kyle is, honestly, and do you want to know something? Jeremy Kyle is one of those guys, right? So Jeremy Kyle, for those who don't know, he was a talk show host for years, and he did essentially, for anyone from America, you'd know, he essentially did a version of the Jerry Springer show, but a lot more, not as theatrical, for want of a better word. And he used to talk down to all the guests. He was a bully to a lot of them. And this is a guy, who played, Mr. High and Mighty. And look at the things he's done in his past. And the weirdest thing was, he was very liberal in a lot of his views when he was on ITV. And then obviously something happened on the show. It got cancelled. And then he rocks up on Talk Radio, which it was at the time, which is very much a right-wing conservative channel. And I'm just like, how? It's crazy. But yeah, Jeremy Kyle's an absolute, but I can't really split it between him and Morgan. They're both horrible, horrible people. We'll try and have some boxing UFC cards on the same. He did that in the past. He did do that years ago with UFC Fight Pass, where he had some boxing shows on very early. Good afternoon, guys. It's nearly 9 o'clock at night here. Fury has always been the biggest fake. Yeah, he's contradicting. He even went so far to fake. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into all that. I would not call myself agnostic, definitely not an atheist. I know damn well that banning the cross, being as a Christian, shows who you are. When he has those to show and pray, it seems fake. Well, I would call myself definitely not agnostic, not an atheist as well. More, I wouldn't go down the road of saying I'm a Catholic Protestant anything like that, but I certainly do believe, definitely that. And I would never have a problem with anyone, whether they be, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, anything. If there's a part, I'm not always fighting, but I would never have a problem with them saying, "Oh, can I bring this to, whatever or whatever?" It's like, yeah, go for it, And the fact that honestly, it's just, yeah, that's Tyson Fury though. The casual public really were starting to believe. Yeah, they did a very, very good job on that one. But Dubois seems very dangerous. I give Dubois not very good chance, but a chance. Fury was more out of the ring than in the ring, let's face it. And the minute something happens with any boxer, they're stripped holding the WBC belt, like that type of belt. And big up to Canada's boxing channel. How are you, my friend? I hope you're keeping well. Wish more people ask serious question about why Dubois isn't speaking to the media. I have my own theories, of course. Yeah, it is an interesting one, and you've given me a bit of an idea for one there, actually, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So you always get something out of these lives, don't we? We always get something out of these lives. 65 likes with 112 in the building. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the likes going. Let's keep the likes going. All right. Dick Turpin wore a mask. Fury is that. Yeah, it takes one to know one, man. It really does. It takes one to know one. It's so weird. Like Fury pre-ban, they're like two completely different people. Like pre-ban Fury was just the polar opposite to Fury when he came back after the ban. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. A better chance of beating Usyk than Parker does. However, I'm tired of these rematches. So am I. It's just, yeah, it's just getting too much now. It's just getting too much. I'm not a fan of all these rematches either. I'm just kind of like, I'm just done with the rematches, man. While the fans were who were brainwashed into the hype and something into following them, generally insane. Yeah, they were quite mental, all right. Nobody's going to beat Usyk. I'll say it now, 50 million more times. He's leaving boxing. 2-time undisputed. He might very well, man. I'm not saying Usyk is ducking Parker, but the way Parker is treated by the sport infuriates me. Well, yeah, I mean, you've said it there, like it does. He literally has been fainted out. Has been. So I'm reading the thing there. He literally has been frozen out. The bar shouldn't lace the groups of Usyk. I mean the boots after the way he acted. Yeah. Did I faint much when I used the box? It's been a while now. Not really. I kind of did a little bit with the jab. Like I would kind of feint a jab more so, but I wouldn't really feint. When I look back now and I think about it, not really. I wasn't much of a feinter when I think about it. I would the odd time, but I think I'd be more kind of stick a jab, move a little bit, and actually look to set up. I'd more so look to set up a hook. I was more a hooker than I was a straight puncher. I could throw straight punches, obviously, but I used to love to try and set up a left hook. I used to love that punch. I used to work so much on the left hook because it just felt more. I always felt like I had more power on the left hook than I did the right hand. I don't know why, but I always used to love throwing that shot or setting it up. The way Parker's being treated, I like Parker, but I'm a huge fan of Usyk, and they've been trying to rob him for years. We had the boxing establishment. They certainly didn't want Oleksandr Usyk winning. The Fight Disciples are really, yeah, I quite like watching the Fight Disciples, to be honest with you. I really do. Not really, man. If it's on, like if I go out on a Saturday night, if I go out on a Saturday night and if rugby is on, I'll watch it. If Ireland are playing, I'll watch it. But I'd never sit down and actually watch it. It's never been a sport that does it for me. I think he is. Yeah, Norris probably is over one lap a little bit quicker at the moment, but I think Piastri has the much higher ceiling. Those times when he had the belts only to defend them once a year. I don't care what anyone says. Usyk has been fighting huge men since the Olympic. 350 amateur fights, only lost 15. He's done it all now. Could Bivol be pound for pound number one? Well, if he beat Beterbiev and Benavidez, he's right up there. Used to love watching Kyle. I watched him when I was very young, when I was 15. And at the time, I was a bit too young and immature to really. Well, at the time, I was just like, oh my God, where does he get these people from? But then when you kind of see it, you're kind of like, he's taking some down and outs and he's making them look silly on national TV. Yeah, he looked good. He did very good. Beating AJ doesn't mean he can beat Usyk. Styles make fights. Has a new show called Talk TV. Well, Talk TV, I think, is the platform. Actually, don't think they work together, but they previously did. Pierce left. Well, look, that's an interesting fight. I'd give Kabayel a good chance. I would. I'll tell this small story from Kyle was in Glasgow for something. I gave him some verbal outside his hotel, and it was home truths, and his face told me everything. Did him like a kipper? Yeah. Jeremy Kyle was still is not a nice character at all. And as I said, he really, yeah, not good. What people don't know is those Ukrainians train totally different. Well, you're not wrong there. They really do. I mean, the whole kind of Eastern Bloc are very much dedicated to the sport, whether it be boxing or whatever. They train different. They train them hard. And the great thing I love about what they do in the Eastern Bloc is they actually train them almost a pro style as well as an amateur style, because in the UK and in Ireland, they will only train you the quintessential amateur style. Throw punches like an amateur, box like an amateur, this, that, and the other. They don't do that in the Eastern Europe. They don't do that at all. Have any bigger plans for the future? Yeah, we did. Well, yeah, we've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We're waiting to hear back on a few things. And like I said, we did something last night, which we're hoping we get the okay for. We're absolutely flipping. I mean, I'm praying we get the okay first, because it'll be really, really good. And that's not the only thing I'm hoping. There's a lot of other things out there. And I'm really, really genuinely hoping we can get it done. We can get it over the line. I really am. I really flipping hope we can get it over the line. I really do. Because if we do, it'll be just epic. It'll be just epic. It will be. It really will be. So that's where we are there. Parker needs to leave Warwick. He should go with Eddie Hearn. He's already been with Eddie Hearn. He's already been with Hearn. He's been with Hearn. He's been with Shalom. He's been with them all. I wonder if Dubois something hot for Parker. Parker looks so confident going into that fight. He turned up like the juggernaut. Shut up, Meg. Yeah, good step up. I think Torres should probably get it done. Just in from work. What's the main story? Yeah, we're talking about Parker, Dubois, Oleksandr Usyk, all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. And to be honest with you, man, we're just about to go over the 55-minute mark. And I've always said I like to keep the lives reasonably short, reasonably sweet. And yeah, just try and keep them as short and sweet as I can. So for me, I'm probably going to leave some fool said sending you hate from Australia. I was like, well, you can F off. Seriously, man. I'm probably going to leave it there. I'm going to leave that live there. So at the minute, if you can still hit the like button, there is 71 likes. 71 likes I would love it if before we finish up here, you can just hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I started this live and we've been doing well. We've been doing well so far. Before I finish up, I want to just ask one quick favor from everyone still in the building. One quick little favor, right? So I absolutely hate going live. And the only reason is I plan going live tonight already. But I hate going live when one of my mates is already live, right? So if you could, boom, hope you can click on that. Yeah, you should be able to click. Yeah, you can click on it. You can click on the link. All right. One of my mates, Based the Kid, has just gone live there himself. So when I log this live off, if you can please kindly go over, give his channel a look, give his live a like, a follow, a share, all that good stuff. I got some videos to make, lads. There's still time to get a video out tonight. So people, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. Until the next live. We might get another live in this week. Who knows? Peace.